Hey, good afternoon, everybody. I want to welcome you to our Zoom today. We've got a wonderful guest, Donna, that's going to be with us. A little bit about myself. I was introduced to ASEA by Gloria Liebecker, and that was about 4 months ago, and life has changed in our family. One of the products I'm super excited about is the mind and energy and mood that just came out. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. That combined with the ASEA redox has really changed things. The energy level has gone way up. Where I used to get sore from my workouts before, it's so much better. So combining redox with those three has just been a huge bonus. Plus, I also started the new face products, and I will tell you, those are amazing. Love, love, love them. So I want to let everyone know these products are amazing. They've changed my life. They've changed my animals' lives and my family's life. And I can't wait for you all to get involved and try them. There's nothing like it. With that said, I want to pass it over to Ruth.
Okay, so hi, I am Ruth Crea, and I'd like to welcome you to watch this video with us that shares the 5 science facts about ASEA that were documented in studies done at the North Carolina Research Campus, one of the world's leading science facilities focusing on nutrition and human health. So this video shows the studies done by Dr. David Neiman, who directs the Human Performance Lab at the North Carolina Research Lab and has partnered with ASEA to study the science behind ASEA and the impact on humanity. And so it's just an amazing video. Let me share now.
ASEA causes a 29.
There.
The North Carolina Research Campus is one of the world's leading science facilities. Focusing on the advancement of nutrition and human health, the campus houses the largest and most advanced collection of scientific equipment in genomics, proteomics, metabolomics, light microscopy, and nuclear magnetic resonance. Dr. David C. Neiman, professor at Appalachian State University, directs the Human Performance Lab at the North Carolina Research Campus. Dr. Neiman, a pioneer in the research area of exercise physiology, has published more than 260 peer-reviewed papers, sits on 9 science journal editorial boards, and has published 9 books on health, nutrition, and exercise physiology. Over the past few years, ASEA has partnered with Dr. Neiman, the Human Performance Lab, and the North Carolina Research Campus to further our understanding of the science behind ASEA and the impact this product is having on humanity. Thanks to Dr. Neiman and others, we already know a great deal about this exceptional product, but recent advances have given us even greater insight. This brief video presents the latest in scientific knowledge regarding ASEA and its extraordinary benefits. There are very few products in the world that have zero toxicity at any level. Supplements, medicines, even the food that we eat can be toxic if we consume too much. ASEA is an extraordinary exception. Millions upon millions of dollars have been spent in safety studies, and the results are conclusive. In both acute and long-term studies, and in high concentrations, ASEA demonstrated absolutely zero endotoxicity, cytotoxicity, and genotoxicity. No cellular damage, no chromosome damage, no reverse mutation, nothing. ASEA's safety record is unparalleled and unsurpassed. You can be confident drinking ASEA. Central to all research conducted by Dr. Neiman and his team was a vital question. What exactly is in ASEA? What is it made of?
We test many different types of nutritional and beverage products. And when we do research with these products, we have to know exactly what is in the product. Because when we test a product and then measure certain outcomes that occur, unless we know exactly what is in that product and then can describe it and then how we measured that, we can't publish the data.
And so the team at the North Carolina Research Campus analyzed the constituent elements of ASEA using one of the largest and most specialized pieces of equipment in the world, the 950 megahertz Bruker Nuclear Magnetic Resonance Spectrometer. What did they learn?
Our team needed to know what was in this drink. And we found that it is not simply salt water. It contains superoxide molecules, which are special signaling molecules that the muscle typically creates when you exercise, but they signal and then are gone in less than a second. We showed that this drink is not simply salt water. It does have superoxide signaling molecules in the drink.
The implications of these findings are momentous. For the first time in recorded history, these specialized signaling molecules, which should be fleeting, have been stabilized and put in a bottle. The scientific importance of this fact cannot be emphasized enough. Not only is this product not salt water, but it is a formulation of stabilized molecules once thought impossible. When Dr. Neiman and his team studied the effects of ASEA on cyclists, one of the things they looked for was metabolite shifts. These shifts in tiny molecules indicate bioactivity, something happening within the cells.
We did a study where we had 12 individuals come into the lab, and in random order, in the morning, they drank either 4 ounces of ASEA or placebo. They did that every day for a week. And then we took blood samples 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, immediately during the first day. And then at 3 days and 7 days, we showed that within 30 minutes after drinking the drink, there is a shift in these molecules. And by the end of the week, it was a significant shift in metabolite.
Pharmacokinetics, also known as PK, is the study of the absorption, distribution, and metabolism of supplements in the human body. As Dr. Neiman performed this ASEA PK study with human subjects, something remarkable emerged. Significant shifts in metabolites were seen within the first 30 minutes of ingestion. But more importantly, additional different metabolite shifts took place after 90 minutes, 150 minutes, 3 hours, 6 hours, even 24 hours after ingestion. Taking ASEA once in the morning resulted in different metabolites shifting throughout the day. The degree of bioactivity of ASEA is truly astounding. At the annual ASEA convention held in September 2012, Dr. Neiman presented initial findings resulting from testing ASEA in mice. Among these findings was the fact that mice on ASEA experienced an extraordinary 29% increase in endurance.
That study is a big deal. It really is. I mean, mice just don't run 29% longer for nothing.
A 29% increase in endurance is phenomenal, and further research will help us understand what this means for athletes and others who drink ASEA. Another major finding in Dr. Neiman's research with mice was that muscle glycogen, a major source of fuel for the muscles, was depleted at a slower rate for mice on ASEA.
Why did those mice run longer? One thing that we found was that the muscles preferred fuel for running, glycogen, that the amount that was used per minute was actually lower, about a third lower per minute in the mice on ASEA.
As we continue to add to our understanding and knowledge, we have 5 undisputed, scientifically verified facts about ASEA, the world's first and only redox signaling supplement. Fact 1. ASEA has been proven to be 100% safe and non-toxic. Fact 2. ASEA is not salt water. ASEA is proven to contain stabilized signaling molecules. Fact 3. ASEA causes major, multiple shifts in metabolites in the human body. Fact 4. ASEA causes a 29% increase in endurance in mice. Fact 5. ASEA causes a 33% decrease in muscle glycogen depletion in mice. Taken together, these facts add tremendously to our understanding of the product and give a solid footing for additional scientific research into ASEA and its benefits.
ASEA has a very unique product. This company could have just made their millions and ran on to something else. Instead, they have decided to put in considerable funding to research on the product and what it does to human health and performance. And I respect that. I think it's a sign of a very strong company that is looking ahead to the future, and we're happy to be a part of that process.
When I first looked at ASEA, I wanted to know if it was safe. And this was one of the first studies where they proved that it is exactly what we're making in our own cells. So no one can be allergic to it. No one can react to it. It's just safe. And then the 29% increase in endurance, who wouldn't want to have just a little bit? And 29% is a lot. So just to get through our day, that endurance is fabulous. I know one of the tests they also did there, they talked about the metabolites, but your oxygen level, it increases your VO2 max, which is very important for athletes, but it was important for me too, because I like to hike and be in the mountains, and a higher elevation you go, the less oxygen there is. And that was really slowing me down. But when I take ASEA, I feel like I'm at sea level again, and I can hike. So I could go on, but I am so thrilled that Donna is with us today. And Donna is one of my favorite people. I met her because of a call that we are both on, and she's just so positive and full of good ideas and sharing how she's able to talk to other people and bring this miracle to them. So Donna, I just welcome you, and would you just share with us what is on your heart? It's today for us, a night for you, and I thank you for coming.
Can you hear me?
We
okay?
can, yes.
Okay. Basically, I'm 66 years old, and I first heard about ASEA through, well, let me take a step back. When I was working 60, 80 hours a week, retail, my body started, I just could feel it breaking down. And so one of the girls, the customer, regular customer, came in, and we started talking about, I knew I needed to drink more water, but boy, sometimes the water just doesn't taste good. And so the company she was with had purified water thing, and it would be something that I could get in a bottle, I could keep it with me. And so I helped her out by enrolling in her company. It helped me to be able to have better tasting water. And so then Don was having to have eye surgery done, and so I had taken to be his driver, and she called while I was there and said, I need to have you watch this video. Our team is making an opportunity shift, and we would love for you to know about it and possibly join us. And so I was kind of taken back because I was getting excited about the other products. But I said, well, I'm sitting here waiting. I've got, time. I'll go ahead and watch the video. So I watched the Genesis video. And in my past, I have been an athletic trainer. Can't tell it now. Because I just don't exercise enough. I've been a caregiver for my mom, my stepfather, my uncle, I'm a mom of 3 and a nana to 7. And so when this all hit or was brought to my attention, I was also doing our genealogy for our family tree because the grandkids would ask me questions. I felt like I needed to find the answer to some of these things while my parents were able to help me. And so in order to be part of the DAR, you have to document. So I was ordering death certificates and such. And I realized I had the most unhealthy gene pool anybody could have. And I wanted to make it different. It was too late to do anything for my parents and stuff because they had already passed at this time. But it really got my attention that I needed to take better care of my health. I needed to be a little more proactive. So I watched the Genesis video. I watched the Frontier video that you just shown. And the part about the metabolite shift 43, that really caught my attention. I mean, the whole research is that particular segment. So I knew that I wanted to be part of it, and it was an amazing opportunity. So I asked how could I enroll, and I got the information, and I've been on ASEA ever since. I find it easier to use the sport pouches because I can carry those with me rather than have, the big bottle. Then they came out with the research for the Renew 28. I didn't think anything could get better than what we had for, the ASEA. But whenever they did the research at Dermatest and they showed all the befores and afters, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is a huge thing for anti-aging. And then the more, you attend it, I just felt like it was important for me to attend all the meetings, everything that I could go to, everything that I could read, listen to all the speakers, our upline leadership. And so I went to Dallas. Alan Noble was holding a meeting. And so I met Terry there, and there was probably about 200 people close to 200 people in the room. And everybody was open, and they wanted to share what they felt like they had noticed with using the product, and how they went about sharing. The one stream through this whole story is it's people helping people telling people their stories. And so, long story short, I started using the Renew 28. And then we found out that it wasn't just anti-aging, it was helping our cells to communicate better as well. And with the pH balancer in there, I believe that's a huge game changer. And so then they came out later with the skincare, and I fell in love with the skincare. The serum is amazing. And then, we come out with the Via line. I'm not a big pill taker, but I find that the ASEA Via is easy. Like Anne has said, if you want to break apart the capsule and put it in your nutritional, you can do that, or your heart protein shake, or just, to take the vitamin. And I really fell in love with the Omega because I know that with some of the past genetics, the heart is something that we need to take a look at and help. So with that, I went on and I shared it with my family, but, they were like, is it one of those things, Nana? And so my oldest grandson, I'm so proud of him. He's going to Pepperdine, and he's going to be a sports therapy doctor. So anyway, I had shared with him that I would get him one of the books with Dr. Lee Osler, and he said he'd like that. So I got it for him for his birthday. And he opened it this last weekend, and he said, Nana, you won't believe this, but the test that I'm taking tomorrow is on this. And so he was going to study it on his flight back because they're studying redox within the colleges. So I think that's going to be a huge game changer for people to realize that we have a new technology that can potentially help many people. We don't make any claims to heal or cure anything, but the one thing that made sense to me is, and I don't know how many of you have watched Alan Noble's presentation, but he does a little diagram about if your house is on fire and don't have a good enough signal on your cell phone to call, then your call's not going to go through. And that is so true. I had worked with AT&T in one of my previous careers, and we went up and we studied the power, and we studied the computer base that makes all the communication possible. So that segment of the story resonated with me. In doing the genealogy, my dad passed at 49 with rogue cells. My mom, my grandparents all, were about in their 70s. I know they were very sedentary. They tried to eat healthy, but they could have done better. So all of these things pulled together with the technology and the research and listening to leaders like Annalise Gettleman. All of our athletes are very well versed and open to share. I'm not Lee Osler. When we first started, there was a gentleman, Dr. Naidu. He wrote the thick book that they are actually using in the colleges called Redox Life. You can still get some of those. I noticed on Amazon they may be used, but they're wealth of information. It's not talking about ASEA, but it's talking about the redox science and how the body and the cells work. But all of these information trainings and going to the conventions and listening to our speakers, our medical panel that helps share and give insight. So that's kind of where I came into. I wanted to not have to work retail. I knew I was going to have to, still do a little bit of caregiving, and I've got a grandson who, it's hard. I try to, help with him when I can, where I can, and he has some medical things that he deals with. So all of it is just trying to help, trying to find information to share with others, make sure that everybody has the opportunity. I mean, Virtus could have very well turned down this technology to take it to market and sold it to the pharmaceutical. And I am so grateful that he didn't, because, I don't know if we would even, I don't know where we'd be now if it wasn't for that. And he talks with such passion when he's at the conventions. Of course, he's retired now, but he greeted me at the door the first one I went to in Austin, and he said, where did you come from? What's your background? What's your story? And it's not many people that are founders of companies that I've been involved with. I've only met 3 took time to come and visit with you and say, what's your story? How can we help? What do you need in the field? And Virtus was one of them, and he took time with everybody. He would stand in line, and people would just line up so that he could talk to them. So feel very blessed for that. And then Tyler, of course, he's stepping into his dad's shoes. All of our Chuck Funky and Justin and Scott, and all of them are Jared or Jerem. They're just amazing people, and they all take the time when they're at conventions, are very approachable. So
Donna?
I don't know if that answered your question.
Yeah, this has been beautiful. I like that you're an extraordinary, ordinary person who just is sharing from your heart, and you've had experiences, and it just resonates. that this is a real important, real product, real company, and real people can do it. Do any of you have questions for Donna? Well, I'm just glad that we are friends, and that's one of the special things in ASEA is when you meet a person who's part of this company, they're caring, compassionate, and they can be a friend for life. So, is there anything else?
Pleasure to meet.
Yeah,
it was really a pleasure to meet you guys at convention too.
That was so special. Patty, what?
I have a question.
Okay.
How soon did you notice your own results personally, Donna? And did you have any detoxing?
Honestly, I didn't think that I was really feeling anything. I didn't feel like I was noticing anything at first. I was taking 3 steroid shots every season and using the 10 packs because there's some little weed or whatever that I break out with. I've always had issue with breathing ever since I was a little child, and so running and things like that was not ever something that I was ever able to really do real well. In our genetics, it seems like we all turn white haired before our 30s. So I colored mine until recently, and I realized that I needed to not be doing that. I didn't know what was all the toxic in the hair color, so I refrained from doing that.
It looks beautiful.
However, I am
It is beautiful.
that I'm still like it. Then I'm noticing I'm getting some black hair in back, which is my natural color. Probably not fast enough. But the one thing that I did notice was that once I shifted over to the ASEA, and even more so with the Renew 28, it felt like I was not having to use the things that I would do for breathing. And then I noticed that I was not having to go get the prescription filled. I wasn't having to go get the shot. And this was all just kind of a gradual thing. That's where I really recommend people to fill out if they begin the process, to fill out the chart and kind of 1 to 10 what your status is, and then compare it, because sometimes the difference can be just so subtle. But it was amazing. My last thing that I went doctor appointment was for my eyes, and he told me I was going to have to wear trifocal, and because I started taking college classes, and my eyes were just not, I couldn't see that much. And he said, it's amazing. Did you put anything in your eyes? And I said, well, I spray my face with our redox molecules, and I just did before I came in here. And he said, well, it's amazing. I'm watching your eyes as I'm looking to verify what your prescription needs to be. And as you're reading the items on the wall, I see your eyes are they're correcting. So he said, I'm going to back down. You don't need trifocals. I think you just need to take your glasses and read and use them as you need when you're reading. And he said, then we'll go back and we'll reassess. And at some point, maybe just, get you a lighter prescription. But he said, I'm not going to prescribe you another prescription right now, because I think you're going to be fine. And he said, I would just keep on doing that, because he said, evidently it's doing some good. And I said, well, would you like to know more information about what this redox is? And he said, yes, I would. So I always carry my Redox Light book in my back there. So I went out and I got it and took it into him. And he said, this is absolutely amazing. And he said, I want to know more. He said, if you get more research, I want to know more. And so when we got our chart lab research and I took that white paper research into him, and he said, your company is doing amazing things. And he's not signed on to use the product through his through his office. But every time I go, he wants to know more. He wants to know how our company's doing, and he wants to know some of the stories. I've talked to some of the chiropractors in our area, and they like what they hear, but I think they have I don't know if it's because of the way it's marketed is a concern to them, or maybe they're waiting to see if that we're still here and where technology goes. I don't press it with them. I just keep sharing with them and telling stories. That's really how I started getting this. When I first started, I wanted to supplement my retirement. Like I said, I'm 66. I retired when I was 62 to help caregiver. And so, long story short, that's that was one of the main reasons why I started. Besides, for the health and everything, but I don't know. Somebody, you see somebody and something is just drawn to you to say hi to them, make a friend. I've been in several networking groups. I kind of had to take a step back when 2020 hit, but several of us are starting to get back in doing do some presentations and stuff. But like I said, my eyesight, I noticed I went to go get the prescription filled because even though I haven't had to use the thing for breathing, I want to always have it with me. And the doctor says, that's been out of date for a couple of years. So it's been that long since I really had to use it. And I just think that being healthy, getting out and doing a lot more walking and being mobile, I think everything together with all of our via line, our redox, our skincare, and of course the ASEA. I think all together it's an amazing formula. And of course now we've got Cell Performance, and I got some at convention. I shared some with some of the people that are in my associate levels, and some of the feedback was, I want to know more when you get more and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be a huge plus for us to have another thing that we can share to help ourselves protect them, protect and possibly have better communication.
In so many ways. Can we have the next slide up, Ruth? I've been part of this company for 10 years now. And I just love the things that Donna said. She talked about this caring, supporting community. And I had to smile when she was talking about our founder, Vertus Norton. She met him. He was standing at a door at a meeting that she went to, and so interested in her and wanting to know her story. I had a similar experience, Donna. Oh my goodness. He just cared so much. I don't know how many founders of company have treasure boxes, but Vertus has a treasure box with letters and stories of people and how ASEA has changed their life. And for some people, it's because of Redox. It's because of the nutrition products. And now it'll be with our new drinks that we have, and of course the skincare. With other people, it's because now they can relax about retirement. They and for some, it was they were just in a desperate place and going to lose their homes, just in terrible debt. And because of being able to help people with ASEA, they have been freed of that financial burden and can help others as they're helping themselves. So one of the things that this company really believes in is we power potential. So definitely on a cellular health level, isn't it wonderful to know that our cells are going to be at their very best. And just because it's in our genetic pattern, because what we've inherited from parents, doesn't mean that we have to go down that same road, because those pathways are going to be healthy with ASEA. And then I love that this company also powers human potential. It's a place where people can come, be accepted, be appreciated, be rewarded, whether they decide to just hang out with us, whether they decide, you know, I want to be a product of this product. I want to use it and see what my experiences are, raising their bar of health. So whether it's with ASEA, Renew, skincare, mind, energy, mood, all of those things just enhance who we are, how we feel, how we look. So some people can become a customer, and we welcome that. We also welcome people to be associates and join hands with us. One of the things I love is that when I started this, I didn't know how to do anything. I didn't know the science. I didn't know what to say to people. I wanted to share it. I wanted it to help with my retirement, just like Donna said. But my friends who were already sharing just said, well, we'll call with you and we'll talk to people. And so through that, I was able to learn. And we're just a team that love and care for one another. And then I just think about, I met Gloria actually through social media. And because I met Gloria, Rhoda, Ruth, Darleen, and others are now some of my best friends. So I'm just blessed coming and going with this company. And I hope that those of you who are watching, you'll learn from Donna how blessed she's been. And we just welcome you to talk to whoever has introduced you to ASEA and just learn more, and please come and join us. And we have these gatherings every Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock Pacific time, and every Wednesday at 3:30 Pacific time. So next week is going to be very special. On Tuesday, we just the team, anyone who comes on the call, we're asking to have a 1-minute testimony to talk about what they are experiencing from our new energy products, our new drinks, Energy, Mind, and Mood. And I'm looking forward to hearing each person's experience, and I have mine to share, so I'm excited about that. So please come and join us May 24th, 7 p.m. And that will be Jerry's Zoom number. Any other closing comments or questions? Okay. Oh, I would like to especially thank Ruth. We're a team, and Gloria usually is running the slides and pushing all the right buttons, and she is off celebrating on vacation today. And she called Ruth, and I'm just so glad that you're our tech person today, and you did a beautiful job. So thank you. We're giving cheers to Ruth.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to stop recording.